The silence falls across the land. I know the people are out on their smoke break, but hi there, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for coming here. I know, I feel like being like, we're all just far away. We're going to be, we're not just going to be oh, yeah, give it up for it. Well, no, we'll save that celebration for a feature from Michael Hogue for later on, but I thought I would start actually by reading a few pieces. And because, well, I'm reading them because I've been doing periodic table of poetry poems, and I only initially show these poems off at features, and because I happen to be reading in a week and a half, Friday the 14th of December at the Art Colony, if you want any
Fine Arts.
It's at the Art Colony building, right? Fine Arts building?
Fine Arts building.
Oh, man.
Art Colony is Vito's joint over on Fletcher.
Why does everybody tell me Art Colony? That it is, you're right, because I have on my thing, the Fine Arts building.
Yeah, I remember
at the Fine Arts building.
Jack's too.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, so it's my problem that I'm just screwing up my words, but it's at the Fine Arts building.
You're thinking of Vito's joint.
You know, I'm never able to get to Vito's thing. But anyway, there are a ton of poets that are going to be performing on Friday, December 14th, at the Fine Arts building on Michigan Avenue. If you want any info about it, there are emails that have been sent out by Charlie. I'll send out something. I've got it on my webpage, want to know about it, but I'll do a 10-minute stint with music from the man of South Africa, Francois Leroux, in the background. So I thought I would do 3 pieces that I've read before at different open mics, including the Poetry Bomb as well as Beach Poets. This first one, I'm not even going to tell you which element it is until after it's done. So we'll see how that one works. So this is the first one. I couldn't help it. I was attracted to you. You elevated me. You seemed so content, so light. And when I saw you, you looked so hot, like a solar flare. Whenever I see you outside, I feel you penetrate my pores every single day. But I didn't realize that outside like this, we were never truly alone. But being near you made me giddy. I'd even raise my voice whenever you'd come near me. But only now I learn that even though you're hot, you're colder than anything I've ever touched. So maybe it wasn't your heat that drew me to you. I think you're truly unique, but you tell me that you're common, and even though you're still so hard to find, I'd have to search the universe for you to realize you're not as special as you led me to believe. So, I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. You have that effect on me whenever you come to me like this. I'm always so tense with your low boiling point and the way you connect with me. You calm me down and show me a new perspective. Because of this, I've avoided the fact that we don't really mix well together. Either way, I still hoped that you could help me. I mean, you can make me feel like I can fly when I'm with you. I just have to remember that even though every once in a while I can literally breathe you in, a few seconds later, you're gone. Trying to do things with a different thing. Nobody has a clue which element that was.
Helium.
That was helium.
All right.
You could breathe you in. It's actually not really common. It's common, but it's hard to find. My voice raises with you, but you're actually like really hard and cold. And sorry, I thought I'd try that one for you. And only because I went to the dentist today. It's been a long day. I went to the doctor, I went to the dentist, got all taken care of. I thought I would do this next one, which I read.
Laughing gas, did you?
No, and my nitrous oxide poem was, you know, at my feature last week, 2 weeks ago. So no, that's not one. This one, but actually, this one is for fluorine, which is number 9 in the periodic table. So fluorine. I just got a postcard from my dentist telling me it's time to schedule another dental appointment. I thought about the fluoride toothpaste that I just changed to, and then I wondered about water fluoridation. The government adds fluoride to public water supplies, you know, to reduce tooth decay and hopefully prevent cavities. I wonder how much water I'd have to drink before I would actually not have to go to a dentist so regularly. Oh, wait a minute. I also read that in order for fluorine to work, it would have to remain in contact with my teeth, so fluoride ions could actually, you know, not work if they're swallowed all the time. Maybe I should just gargle with water more. But fluoride is just one of the ionic compounds of fluorine, and I thought it was funny that when I found out that the name of the mineral, fluoride, is derived from the Latin word flow, because it was added to metals to make them flow. Kind of like water, I suppose, which we now add fluorine to. But you know, it's not just teeth that fluorine can help. I mean, check this out. Because of the stability of the carbon-fluoride bond, many drugs are fluorinated to stop the metabolism to prolong their half-lives. You know, I've always wondered how that worked to make drugs last so long. The time-release drugs, that's apparently how. And now over 20% of commercial drugs use fluorine. I mean, scientists have even used the radioactive isotope fluorine-18 to perform PET scans, PET scans. And it's amazing that liquid fluorocarbons can hold on to gas in solution, can even hold more oxygen and carbon than our own blood. Wow. I didn't realize how useful fluorine was to helping us humans out. But the thing is, fluorine is actually really toxic. Some isotopes are used in insecticides, and fluorine attacks the eyes, lungs, liver, and kidneys. And hydrofluoric acid is a pretty nasty contact agent. Chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, they've even been strictly regulated through the international agreements for fear of the environment and the depletion of the ozone. I mean, the U.S. government even has a slew of signs for the dangers of the element. It's a toxic gas. It's corrosive. It's an inhalation hazard. Wait a minute. I thought it was supposed to be so good for me. Why does it also have to be so bad? So, too much of fluorine in the right way can be devastating to you, and in other ways it can help your bones or help your medication. Fascinating. I guess that's another way we've learned to take the bad with the good, or is that we've learned how to take the good out of the bad. Maybe I won't start to gargle with water because of the fluorine, and maybe I should just deal with everyone's inherent fear of the dentist and just go and come back with cleaner teeth for the next 6 months. I think I'll hold off on doing 3. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Sorry, that was a bad cut, but thank you, Francois, for the music. And I might as well, you know, I'm actually going to parade around with this. You guys have time to be able to pull stuff off, and I can't see, so I'm hoping, dun, dun, dun. I don't know if the bobsled is ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, yay! Because I know we've got stuff scheduled for next year, and the first thing that we've got, we normally don't have the first week in January. We take the last week in December, the first week in January off, but they've got it scheduled on for January 2nd. So I was thinking, since I can make it, we'll come here and do like a mini feature night where everybody can pull up 10 minutes and have a little thing and go and have some fun. Maybe I'll read some brand new periodic table pieces. I have no idea. So I'm hoping that you'll have a bunch of original new stuff. Oh, even some old stuff. I'm always good with the old stuff too because we love your writing. So please give it up for the Bob Stern self, Mr. Bob Raskow. What are you looking
Where's
for?
the Thompson? I'm going to try one.
Oh,
It's right there on top.
I'll grab it and bring it to you. That's fine. I'm afraid of the noise of this. Ready? Quiet. I can grab it. I'll get it for you. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. I'll grab it for you.
Okay.
You're good.
I'll do mine first.
Unless you were dying for the Johnson one first.
Nah, that's not that's the experiment, so we'll save that for last.
Yeah, I took it back here.
These are a couple of Chicago Calling poems in collaboration with Tony Renner. Chicago Calling is a is an annual ever since 2006 or 2005. I can't remember when he started. Dan Godston and Border Bend Productions does a multimedia music, art, film, poetry thing in which everyone who participates collaborates with someone from out of town or international, whatever.
Chicago, Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I responded to Tony Renner's artwork online, and this one is called Hammer House of Horror. It pulls you inside alongside the frenzied, freakish circle where Betty Davis forgets to look for her charge. Poe starts life again in garish color, and nothing is dependable, save Murphy's Law, everything that can go wrong will. We are slaves of our condensed wills, sliced and butchered by the hammer mill, the haunted, corrupted studios, the passageway to the cheapest thrill. Thanks. And I'll do Inside 7 with my sound effects. Oh, cubicle, cubicle, boardwalk, taffy ice, finds its greeter. Please insert coins. Enter through plastic tube. All space, airspace your guide. Don and adjust life suit. Proceed towards soft white blobs. Continue traveling. You will reach a pinwheel. You will look twice to find it. It is your signal to complete your time. Dispose of all changes at the 7th doorway. Await instruction to follow. Reclaim the pennies. Soon, for what you're worth, be ready for base 8. Thank you. Now in a much different vein, this gentleman, according to Mr. Yatko, influenced J.R.R. Tolkien, was one of his major influences for writing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I guess. That's interesting. Because before I borrowed this book from them, I never even heard of the guy. His name is Francis Thompson. Let me pick a short one. Most of these are pretty long, actually. Maybe I should just read an excerpt.
Read whatever you like.
Oh, just start anywhere. I don't know Latin, but maybe one of you does. This is called Manus Animam Pinxit. P-I-N-X-I-T. Does that have something to do with pink or something? I don't know. Lady who holds on me dominion, within your spirit's arms I stay me fast against the fell, immitigate ravening of the gates of hell, and claiming my right in you, most hardly one, of chaste fidelity upon the chaste. Hold me and hold by me, lest both should fall. Oh, in high escalade, high companion, even in the breach of heaven's assaulted wall. Like to a wind-sown sapling grow I from the cliff sweet of your skyward jetting soul. Shook by all gusts that sweep it, overcome by all its clouds incumbent, oh, be true to your soul, dearest, as my life to you. For if that soil grows sterile, then the whole of me must shrivel from the topmost shoot of climbing posy, and my life, killed through, dry down and perish to the foodless root. And posy is spelled P-O-S-E-Y in this book.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Okay, thank you, everybody.
You can hear how that influenced Tolkien to write The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you, Buster.
Chase.
Yeah, I know.
Almost good.
Fascinating. I think that Bill Yarrow gave us that book, I think.
Or Escalade, whatever.
Or something.
Escalade, whatever.
Cozy.
That's awesome.
That was just a bunch of books companies gave to us.
Yeah. Books are awesome. So, because I had this in my date book, I even asked John, should I happen to read this? Because this Saturday, December 8th, was, well, I guess if you call it an anniversary, is the day that John Lennon was shot and killed. So I happen to
2 years.
And get me out, man. And I thought I would read this one. It's Childhood Memory 6. It was Sunday night. I was put to bed for school, but by now it was already 11:30. After a weekend of fun, I couldn't relax enough to go to sleep. So it was late, and I was in bed, listening to my clock radio like I always did, and suddenly there was a news report that John Lennon was shot. A few minutes later, and the reports were that he was dead. And the next morning, I walked downstairs, and my mother was reading the paper, and the news was there. It wasn't a dream. After he died, I remembered in school, one of my teachers wrote in calligraphy on a piece of paper placed on their bulletin board, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one." And my seat, the chair with the little basket under the seat for my books, the chair attached to the desk, the seat was right at the front, to the side, right in front of that bulletin board. And every day I would look up and see it there, my first brush with death. I know, happy. And on that happy note, I'm hoping that I've got the wonderful lyrics. Well, I wish I had music for you, my darling. And I'm like my lyric guy with the poetry. Please give it up for a man who had an open mic, but he's such a beloved soul here. Get on up here, Angel. Come on up. That's my girl, everybody. Give it up for him.
Are you reading?
What?
Oh, well,
My bag?
I don't know how I got it. I'll bring the bag with me.
Okay. Shit, you're talking
I've
to me.
never been here before.
Oh, read. What do you think? Jenna, we might have a potential reader.
It will have to be after my sister gets here because my mom died.
Oh, okay.
Well, then if you
So from fifth book, pull tabs and other things to stick your fingers through.
Woohoo!
And since it's a small audience, I'll try to read things that I don't read that often. Memo Nkwachni. I'll come home someday. This passion pulls. I am weak from sorrow. This passion steals. I am exhausted from breathing. No, mother, do not weep. I'm a good boy now. I know that love you once told me about. Your face was pale. It put blood into your arm. You smiled to touch my face. I understood then that I would understand now. It's all I really understand. It's all I really know to be true. I tried to run away, but I only ran closer. Your hand was cold. No one likes sadness. That is why you smiled. It put blood into your arm. The sun was shining through your window. It made an iridescent glow around you. Many people were sad, but you smiled. Momo, Nkwachni. Only joy remains after sorrow. Screws fall out. What were we? What were we then in the spring of our love? Bright flowers open to the sun's glory, folding our petals tight together in the night's chill. An embrace opening to each other, to each morning. But were we but Leaves, fresh and new, growing through our summer, stretching out our points to grab what light, what life, what energy we could hold in ourselves, feeding the roots we had set deep within fertile soil, giving rise to seeds that would grow into their own trees, sprout their own leaves. Our fine greenery, our beautiful blooms, set out only to flame in final color, then wilt and shrivel, torn from our trunk, cast adrift in autumn winds. Our dormant winters, holding the cold of our past droughts in tight rings, waiting for a spring rain that did not come. Our growth, stunted by life's misdirection. Lumberjack lawyers come now with sharpened axes, ready to hack what remains. We fall to the saw, milled to plank, set in the kiln, our moisture removed. We are hardened, ready to be something new. From Pain of Love and Loneliness, my third book. Peace and people coming in the hope for love, the belief that love will set you free, the belief that love exists somewhere. Coming in the hope for balance between the dream and the reality, between how you thought it was going to be and how it is. Coming in the hope for release from the pain of today, dragging you on into every other day of your life. Peace in people, found in the trust of feelings, even when they're shown to be wrong. Found in the trust of the voice within saying, this is not what it's all about. Found in the trust you have in others' words, you have in others' actions, even when they don't agree, even when you know they lie. Peace in people, found only when they realize nothing matters save love. And the only ones who know this are the ones who are about to die. That is why we find peace in people when they die, because they know and have seen the pain of love and loneliness, because they know peace in people is gained by overcoming the fear, overcoming the pain of love and loneliness. More? Less?
Sure, go ahead.
I don't know, whether to do a round robin or get in the time.
You point. Is there somebody that wants to read the round robin, or it just gives a big old point? Would you like to read or don't? Yeah. Well.
All right.
Yeah. So the call should we bother with the round robin, or just read me another one and leave it at that, or we'll see what's going on, or something.
Okay.
So you go.
Emily and the Walnut Tree. Rainy day, heart and soul is my joy. Rainy day, the birth of knowledge is my joy. Rainy day, a child's eager persistence says, there is hope for mankind. Rainy day, if I were an angel, I think I would cry with joy. Rainy day, there are rainbows in the eyes of youth. Rainy day, Emily learned a new note today. There's a little girl in the Walnut Tree pub who was learning how to play heart and soul.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. And I don't know what's, and I think there was somebody that might be coming after the feature, and if we do something for time like that. John, is everything up with you? You're all awesome. Okay. I just said more than one. And this is not, it better still be attached. I shouldn't have taken this apart. All of these cords sticking out. I am doing this because this happens to be a new issue of CCND and Down in the Dirt magazine for, why did I put it on now? I hear my crazy noise. Oh yeah. You can just hear some low noise going on in the background for this one. New issues of CCND and Down in the Dirt magazine. And I'm proud to say that neither one of these covers are by me. Because usually I'm trying to come up with that. This is a cover, and I was only going to read one from this one, but this was this cool marshy bog with lots of algae on it. the Des Plaines River, I think. Thank John Yatko for this cool cover. I was like, I like that. Yeah, I'm just putting that on there. I have two labeled for this one. This is a poem from Marlon Jackson in the December issue of Down the Dirt, volume 113, and it is called Falling. Like the gloat of a feather, everybody's falling, swirling within the air until they're belonging. Such tasks are mysterious, like clouds, and our minds learning everyday experiences. Thank you, Marlon. I know it's really mellow piece. Is it too quiet? I have no idea what that's sounding like in the background. It's just background noise. I don't know. This, some of you, yeah, because this guy sent a lot of stuff, and everybody remembers the name Brian Luton. And he's in CC&D as well, I'm sure. But this is live with A in parentheses, so it could be A live, live. It's A live. The vein in my hand protrudes. I don't enjoy its sight. Reminds me of mortality, the wear and tear, persistent. It crops up to say hello, then disappears beneath the skin. I wonder if it sings with life, or if the blood is tainted, or where the vein has traveled, or where its siblings are. Perhaps the vein sings by itself. How simply it protrudes, how simply it returns. The worm inside my flesh, the worm that keeps me live. That crazy worm vein popping out. Oh, I know that one too much. This is the December issue of CC&D. It is volume 239. And this, I have no idea where this is. I wanted to say Paris, but I have no idea. Eric Bonholzer did the cover for this one. And I'm like, you know, it's a nice stretch and that's an awesome cover. Eric Bonholzer. And he has done artwork as well as short stories and stuff. So I'm going to read a few. And here's another name that some of you know. I wonder if I'm going to hear, when I get this one. This is from Joseph Hart. Joseph Hart. And I'm going to read one of them. I've got a couple of regulars, so I'm like, I'm going to have to get a regular contributor. This is Joseph Hart and his poem, The Wise Mommy. Mommy, you were absolutely right. I'm only getting better. I'm not good. Until I die, I keep getting better. Open-ended and infinity. Sartre would not take the Nobel Prize. He claimed that it would fix his intellect at this specific thought or understanding. He wanted to be free to think some more. Did Sartre have a mother like I had, who left him capable of getting better? Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. What do I have? I have Breadcrumbs by Stacey Lee. Breadcrumbs. This is Breadcrumbs. So empty. Nothing feels right. I'm losing touch. Reality slipping away. Losing myself. Everything is twisted. Dark. Will I ever make it back? She apparently needs breadcrumbs. Sorry, that's goofy. As goofy as this, this is inches above the ground. My feet are in so much pain that I want to say it feels like my feet are about to fall off. But if that happened, would that mean that with no feet, my legs would just hang there as I floated 3 inches above the ground? Sorry, that was right next to a poem of mine, which everybody, oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry, right next to a poem of mine, which was goofy, related to my work when I was selling photographs. and I'm just doing this, I don't know why I'm doing this one, this is over their coffins. You know, you have these thoughts about people say crazy things to you while you're trying to sell photo packages, and you scribble them down when nobody's around. This is over their coffins. I work for a photo studio, and someone suggested I should sell photo packages to old people and to tell them to have their photos taken before they die. I told them that's a terrible marketing campaign. And they said, but then they can have their photos above their coffins. Yes, photos above their coffins. Photos taken to be placed over their coffins. Smashing idea. That's the kind of stuff that you have to deal with when you're dealing with people walking into you. Yeah, well, it's everyday life kind of stuff, right? I don't know.
That's like the pet spas.
Yeah, pet spas, he says. Pet spas. What is this pet spas thing?
They have pet psychics.
No way.
Oh my gosh. Want to know the mind of my
Can you go
pet?
to pet spas? I would like to go to a pet spa. They do all the time.
See if they can treat you all like, I'm particularly hairy. Could I go to a pet
Am
spa?
I still bald?
Not that you are. I was speaking the.
No offense. Nah.
It wasn't a reference.
I'm a pet.
You are my pet. Well, I can't say you're my pet because you might have company here that might think, no, he's my pet. Is there anybody that would like to read anything for the open mic?
That's a good one.
I don't have a name. Tell me something. Get on. You know, we have to give an idiot screaming welcome, and what is your name? Mary. Oh my God, Mary, Mary, get over there, get over there. They don't have computers, so we'll take them. Oh, so I'm gonna tell you, Mary. Oh, you forgot already? I don't have to do anything else. All right, I was like, I was going to make up a story about Paul. And I'm like, do I have to fill space? Give it up for Mary again. Yeah.
Okay, I came up here from downstate. I live on a farm.
Bridgeport?
And,
Yeah, close. Bronzeville. Hey, Shannon.
and so this, I just want to read.
You could go through the mic or make it shorter.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. So I live on a farm downstate, and this first one is called Snow Route, and I'm starting to lose hope that we're ever going to see snow again, but we usually have a lot of snow where I live. Snow Route. Crystals of ice, bouncing, gliding, too mean for slush or snowballs. You know it's cold when the snow snakes along the road like smoke. The road to my house has just enough traffic to polish its surface to a silvery glaze. I take the long way home, avoiding the worst bend, the one that sent the car spinning into a snowdrift last November. Coming from the west, I see my house at an unfamiliar angle. I am caught, like a stranger, wandering at the mildewed scaffolding, the snow-bent collards left in the garden, the empty clothesline, the summer side of the house. My house is smaller, meeker, with the barn behind it, if you come in from the west. And this one is one I wrote after a trip out west. We went to Taos, New Mexico, and this was on the way back. It's called New Year's Cat. It is 2:16 a.m. on New Year's Day, Illinois time, but we are still in Colorado. The moon is rising, a section of mandarin orange floating above the horizon. And suddenly I see it is Lewis Carroll's cat, grinning at me. I'm thinking, road trips are hard, and family visits are complicated, and in-laws are a cobblestone path leading me to a window on your childhood. But we did all right, didn't we? I mean, yes, I skied badly and cried on the slopes when I got scared and talked to myself down the mountain in that embarrassing way and got drunk with your sisters and said the F words of them in the bar, even though other women's children were not 10 feet away, and came home too late to Three Brothers with all the kids, and now I've missed the turn on 24 East and have to backtrack so that we thread through downtown Colorado Springs at 11:30 on a New Year's Eve so stark and cold that the champagne your sister gave us to pop in the hotel burst in the trunk. When I finally hit I-70, I foolishly passed up the expansive travel center with 3 hotels at least, and now it looks like I may have to drive all the way to Burlington to find a room. Yet, we are here, together. And sure, you took off for one last day of skiing without me, or even telling me, or even putting the clothes in the dryer as I'd asked, or even calling. I mean, we could have met for lunch between runs. And you came home still wearing those dark goggles, the Converse of the rose-colored ones, so that every move I make vaguely annoys you, like leaning forward, fretfully, as I drive lost through an unfamiliar city. We pass the radio tower, red button-down lights, the top one blinking slowly. For just an instant, the top light becomes the cat's eye winking at me, and I'm thinking Kelly must be right. If you can't look back from the evening and say it was a good day, why not take the good hours and line them up, a glowing path to carry you forward? Later, in the Best Western, you carried in the boy and went straight to the bed with your tea hot from the hotel coffee maker, leaving me to unload the sticky glass, shards of sticky glass from the trunk. Yet, I found on the table a second cup of tea waiting for me. And then one last one is also kind of a travel poem. We went to Iowa City this summer and to Ames, Iowa, and at the same time my son went all the way across the country, and he called me from San Francisco, actually texted me, and he told me that he was wanting to go to the Beat Museum. And I immediately texted him back, and I started writing this poem on the phone in text, and this is kind of what came out. It's called Dylan at the Beat Museum. I went to the Beat Museum, but they wanted $8. $8 of my hard-earned money. $8 of my cracking eggs for the people on the sidewalk. $8 of slicing peppers and peeling onions in a truck inside another truck. $8 of my eyes weeping as I slice. $8, man. For $8, I could buy a roll of paper or a typewriter ribbon that would unroll my blood, sweat, and tears down Woody Guthrie's highway in this, my land of earth, wind, and fire all the way home. I stand with my hand out on the sidewalk, not asking for eggs or egg money or pin money or pin numbers, not asking for a lower tax rate or higher fences, or to sanctify gay marriage or to marry a sanctimonious bastard, just asking for $8, just asking to see some beats. I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for the Beat Museum today. And they're going to $8, man.
I think right now we are set with the open micers, although we might be waiting for somebody for an open mic afterward. Is that what the word is?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so we might have a bonus open micer after a feature because you have to wait for her. She's got everything all set up and she's ready, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what a little cat lady says. So please give it up for Catherine. Cat, come on up here. Woo! All right, as she's walking up here, I don't think it was loud enough. Make it loud. Give everybody else
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mary, for letting me use your computer. Okay, well, my poetry is a little more personal, I guess, but hopefully that won't be a problem. So, they're all short. So I guess I'll just pick a few. Okay, this one's called 15 times 5. When I turned 15, I freaked out because I realized I would have time to do every second of my life 5 times over by the time I reached 75. I had started out as a baby, a little bigger than my feet. In what ways would that vast difference be reflected in the next 15-year interval, especially since it wasn't going to be by getting taller? How did people who were 5 times old stand it? All that growing and all that stuff gained and lost and gained and lost again, all the people you used to know and all the places you used to live. At 15, I could almost conceive of everything I'd have to forget. It loomed in front, a broken, hazy silhouette on the movie screen. I was right to be afraid, but at the same time, I'm here. We're all here now. Tonight, I sit, having consumed too much liquor, but not actually tonight, and think that I might be able to squeeze in every second of my life all over again before I turn 70. The thought makes me so incredibly tired. It seems the moments that are worth repeating are too few, and the minutes in between so endless. The payment for pleasure exorbitantly high, in regret, remonstrance, guilt, and loss, not to mention calories. But sometimes, when I look at you, I think I'd pay it. The memory of what I could have with you might be worth another lifetime debt. Just one more to sleep up. This one is really short, tiny. It's called Last Resort. This is from one of those really bad relationships. Any truths I might say, you already know. Anything I might try, you've already done. Any song I might sing, you've already heard. But if I close my eyes, then we're both gone. Okay, just two more, because I'm doing a gamut. This one's just untitled. It's kind of weird, so just go with it. Perhaps you can tell me why my teeth are standing on edge and my hair screams and my nails feel like extra fingers. Oh, I'm just looking for some peace and quiet, Carmen. I think that should be allowed, to be able to get some shh, I think. So, whose turn is it? Yours? Oh, good, because I hadn't any idea what I was going to do if it was my turn. She stuck her arms in his chest up past the elbows and hauled 2 armfuls of white pigeons out of his body. Then she heaved the birds into the space between them and they flew away with her thought. Yes, I'm sorry. Do go on. I was saying that there are kisses in the dream time, before any of this happened. There are kisses in my head, that last a long time, that are over in an instant, that never happened. I don't know if there are kisses in the future, but I hope they're not the same ones. And this one's called New. I was sitting on the toilet peeing, and my kitten started howling outside the door, crying with loneliness for the matter of seconds since I have disappeared, vanished, gone missing, dematerialized behind the bathroom door. Have I become a kitten then, reborn to tragic babyhood, such that in your absence time turns into a meaningless eternity, a blank emptiness of questions and interchangeable, distorted faces? I don't miss you. I just don't know who or where I am without you. I'm a single-toothed infant who's just landed on their ass, alone on the hardwood floor.
Awesome, 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 awesome. I love it when we get like the newbies coming here, like, I'm going to read, and they always do something that's awesome. It'll blow my mind. It's like a too awesome night. Is there anybody, because I know we were starting late, people strolling, like, is anybody have anything they want to read open mic-wise? I want to make sure that I'm not missing. And whom are you, my darling? I can't see.
My name is Jim.
Jim! Yeah, you've never run here before, so let's give a screaming, hollering welcome for Jim. Come on up here, Jim! Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
No problem, Jim.
Michael, that stuff is really good. I like the one about, how do you, a poem about knitting, and who would ever thought about knitting and baseball?
Knitting and baseball.
Making one poem combining the words of knitting and baseball.
That was awesome, yeah.
I like the chicken one, too. Okay, my name is Jim Moran. I actually live in Ecuador. I have a hotel in Ecuador, South America. I'm here just visiting, actually to get cataract surgery done, which hasn't done yet, so.
So if we come to visit, can we have a place to crash?
Maybe.
Okay.
We have a hotel, art gallery, and a restaurant, and also we just opened a brew pub called Stray Dog.
Stray
It's a
Dog.
little town in Ecuador. Anyway, I'm here now. But I used to live here for quite a while. This first poem is called Black Dog Running. It's late afternoon. I'm standing between the abandoned tracks. They pierce the distance like silver needles, and where they meet, a cinder speck appears against the yellow sky. Black dog, running, loping toward me, tie to tie between the tracks. Nearing, you shadow ribbon like a curtain along the trackside weeds, looming toward me. Black dog, loping, tie to tie between the tracks. Moving nearer. In the marbled mirrors of his eyes, the rails recede, side by side. Black dog, running down the tracks. We're written about south and set in Greenville, Mississippi, more or less, about the Mississippi Delta. It's called Delta Sun. For those of you not familiar with Southern geography, the Mississippi Delta spreads south from Memphis, Clarksdale, Yazoo City, Natchez. It's spider in Illinois and hard in West Texas, and the Delta sun seeps into my pores and pours back out, soaking my shirt. I'm biking south on the Great River Road, trying to find a cool place. So I pull into the 82 Bar and Grill on the outside of Greenville, pause inside, let my pupils dilate. It's a murky roadside eddy, churning with white flotsam adrift in the lower Mississippi. Mid-afternoon slackers circle the pool table, poking each other's bellies with their sticks and laughing. And the bar is lined with empties on both sides. I find a seat and order a beer. And she catches my eye in the bar-length mirror. But we both look away with the same thought. Too old for me. She's overdressed in perma-press, red and white from some blue light special, looking sideways at herself in the mirror, turning profile to profile, hanging on to a wisp of her bleached blonde hair like it was her last strand of hope. Fingers of brotherly stroking her face like biscuit dough, smoothing out the wrinkles. She's come to this roadside shrine looking for youth, but the only fountain here is flowing with Budweiser. Looks like she'll settle for that. I want you to watch yourself take a cigarette carefully from a leather red accessory. In the amber glow, she sees her lipstick smeared like strawberry stains on a faded magnolia. She opens up her matching compact, sees her makeup's wearing thin, gets up to go for another layer. But there's too much truth in the bathroom mirror. She's back at the bar again. Easier to face the neon simile of herself in the flattering clock light. She's a southern belle that somewhere fell through the crack between gentry and white trash. Lost her seat long ago in a game of small town musical chairs. But she's found it again here in this chrome-plated stool at the 82 Bar and Grill. The beer starts to do its work. Lines on her face begin to soften as memories of hot, fertile Delta nights along the levee flood in. But now the crop's going to seed. She can see she's just going through the motions in her mind, like an oil rig pumping a dry well. So she gathers up her accessories, heads for the door. Pool players pay her no mind. As she goes out, the door slams, her silhouette against the back wall in a slab of late afternoon sun, like the last empty frame of a bad slideshow. And I turn to my own reflection. See gray where black used to be. Look away. Finish my beer. Go back out on the Delta Sun. That's it, Delta Sun. One more. I got one set in Chicago about this, about the subway. It's not quite memorized, so I have a book actually called One Way of Looking at the World. Let me find something. It's called Subway Crazy, but it's not quite memorized.
The fact that you have them memorized to begin with, you were...
Yeah, I used to have one.
That's awesome.
I've been in Ecuador 8 years and haven't done this stuff, so hold on. used to live at Hoyne in North Avenue, Hoyne in Potomac, near Potomac. So I used to take the L to work every day when I was actually had a real corporate job. So this is about one of my trips from Milwaukee North and Damon downtown for my job. It's called Subway Crazy. Woo. Hold on. The train stops at Damon and North. The usual crowd comes in. Strangers, but I know which one. The purple spikehead, the black-hooded punk, the blue-lidded lady looking for love between the satin red covers of a paperback novel. The clock punchers, the gum poppers, the gotta-get-to-workers, the couldn't-care-lessers. Cardboard cutout sit-up straighters side by side with potato sack slouchers and window dozers, the up-and-coming back-to-back with a down-and-going. The deeply flawed, bored, hollow-eyed, city-jaded. Strangers, but I know them all. The doors slide shut. The passengers settle in. Suddenly, from somewhere, an old woman starts up. She has something to share with the assembled passengers. She's raving on like an auctioneer, but her words make no sense. Startled faces turn her way and quickly turn away, tune her out. They've seen her before. They'll see her again. Just another Subway Crazy. Everyone's hoping the next stop's hers. But she cranks up the volume instead, and so do the headphone heads. But I become obsessed with her strange soliloquy, this chronicle of one possessed. I'm repelled, yet drawn to her ancient rhyme like a wedding guest. There's more to truth than well-formed phrases, and I'm not so sure she's just another Subway Crazy. Her skin's like shrink wrap on her hollow bones, hunched like a vulture at her seat, calling like a macaw. There's something wrong, but I can't comprehend. I listen for a clue to the cause of her discontent, but her words are detached like floats of phrases in a parade with no theme. Her jaw is flapping loose beneath her face, creaking at the hinges like a junkyard shovel. She has a message, but I can't tell if it's death or resurrection, hope or despair. A call for repentance before a plague, or a parable in answer to a question no one asked. Train moves underground, electric sparks flash in the tunnel wall, something pops and the lights go dim, but this croaking crone drones on, reciting some proto-human litany, rocking in train time, chanting cross-legged before a fire in the darkened hut of her own mind, like a living remnant of some dispersed and long-forgotten tribe. There's something cold inside her skull, coiled like a viper in a long-sealed crypt, hissing an all-purpose passenger curse on this car of captive souls. Is she a skewered witch returned from hell, or just another Subway Crazy living down in tunnel land, where the mystical is often indistinguishable from the clinical? The train comes up into the light. She jumps another octave to the pitch of the squealing wheels, her raining more urgent and shrill. She's a free-spinning turret of misfiring synapses, a fusillade of syllables. Her words scatter like a Scrabble game hit by a sound grenade. Then she falls silent. The others have left the car, and we're the only two. She stills me with a lizard eye. As if it were I she plagiarized, a mocking mimic of my own little world of words. I'm a prisoner of syntax in my own brain cells, locked in logic. I'm a dilettante of lexicon, a poetic ape tottering upright, one faltering neuron, one renegade gene away from blabbering brutehood. Who's to say an alien could distinguish hers from my own pointless tale of sound and fury? Who's to say? I've got a book called One Way of Looking at the World. It's like several years of poetry I've done. If anybody's interested, look at it.
Oh my God,
Thank
well,
you.
it was awesome, awesome, thank you very much.
Oh, the Stray Dogs of Ecuador was this four-color, based on our brew pub in Ecuador. But see me and I'll show you both of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all.
You know, this poetry open mic was started in Summer '96 by David Rubin, and the one thing, and it was carried on by Charlie Newman. It's been at numerous locations, and the one thing they always said is always welcome anybody new coming in. And that was phenomenal. That we just, what a treat. I mean, I love hearing the regulars are coming in, but that's so awesome to be able to get that. And thank you so very much. Now, I usually talk about things that are coming up in the next few weeks, and it's usually not going into the next year. So I might as well start telling about stuff for 2013, because we've got a big old lineup coming up here. In 2 weeks, on December 19th, but I'll make sure that's right. I hope it's right. I am actually not going to be here. That's all the more reason to come, because Bob Rashna is going to be hosting this open mic, and I'm sure he's going to have awesome stuff for the feature of Susan, now I can't even get the name right, from Susan Swanberg, who just had a book done with Dave Getchuk. And there'll be a huge crowd with that, I'm sure. So come on by right before Christmas for this event. I really feel bad that I can't make it. And normally this open mic is not running in the first week of January, but we're slated on here, since we're every other week, for January 2nd. So I am telling everybody, because there is not a scheduled feature, that it is 10-minute mini feature night for anybody that comes in on Wednesday, January 2nd of 2013. I might even read some things from the periodic table. Who the hell knows? I don't know. But it is 10-minute mini feature night, so everybody can have a little feature pulled off. On January 16th, we've got Bill Yarrow. January 30th, Jeff Helgeson. That, I won't even say double plus awesome, because I keep saying that tonight, but that is, I'm just thrilled for that one. Alex Sagona is on February 13th. He is really awesome, cool, and he started a publication, Generationless Publications, I believe it was called, which is really cool. And Virginia Hunt on February 27th. We've got a lineup through March. All right, even though they're not here, Janine Ravensloot and Tom Roby have the slots in March, and you know, I'm not going to go on farther into that, because you can always check out information at www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. There's a schedule there. If you don't have a spot for a feature, there are openings September, October, toward the end of the year. We would love to have you be highlighted here, and we'd love to give you our money, because that's what we do. And I can't think, is there anything else? I'm not going to be here in 2 weeks, so for everybody who's coming in 2 weeks or whatever, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful holiday season, a fantastic Christmas, a wonderful New Year celebration. Come here in 2 weeks. I'm just saying my goodbyes for myself. And thank you all so very much for being a part of Poetry Senior. Thank